Welcome back to another episode of It's Debatable. Today I'll be your host, Sebastian, here with co-host Justin and co-host Jalen. Today we are talking NBA basketball. But before we start anything off, I gotta ask you how you guys is feeling, Justin.
I'm good, man. I'm ready to go.
All right, bet. Jalen, how you feeling, my man?
I'm chilling per usual.
I bet. Let's jump right into things. So today, for the first topic that I have in mind, is around that time in the off season where we get to see the highlights of people that's working on their game, shooting in the gym, and specifically, we talking about no other than Ben Simmons. It seems like for the past couple years, every time we look when he's working out with C. Brickley or he's working out in the off season, they saying that jumper's looking right. But we haven't seen it thus far, whether it's because of injuries or just him not playing because of the situation in Philadelphia. We just haven't seen Ben Simmons perform at an all-star level like we used to. But C. Brickley said himself, he said, bank on his word that Ben Simmons will get back into all-star form. So I'm going to start off by asking a Brooklyn Nets fan right here, Jalen, What do you think? Will Ben Simmons get back to his all-star form?
No, I don't think Ben Simmons will ever be an all-star ever again. To be honest, it's just the reality of it. I think just because, again, he doesn't have that same... Well, nonetheless, I still like... I feel like specifically like last season, the start of the last season, he did like produce a little bit better than I expected. I definitely feel like he was more so a reason why like Mikal and Cam got those like big scoring nights early on. So I definitely credit him for that. But again, it's just like through a span of a season, I don't see it going out through a span of a season. I definitely feel like, you know, he's only able to play like 1/4 of the season from what we've seen so far. And then everybody, he keeps saying this back injury thing. We always say that it's good going into the season, and then midway, it's another back problem. So I don't have no faith in it to be like a consistent thing throughout. As far as being an all-star, I don't think he's ever going to get to... I don't think he's ever going to be an all-star just because of durability. But I think he's able to produce in certain spurts, but it's just not going to be on a consistent basis. I definitely feel like you could see flashes here and there, but to wrap that around in a 82-game season, I don't think he has the capability of doing that consistently throughout the whole season. So
Fair enough. Justin, what you think? Will Ben Simmons get back to all-star form?
All-star form. I think that I don't want to say no or yes. I have to see what's gonna happen this season. I just think there's a lot of obstacles in his way. Number one, just having the back surgery. You know, we seen when Dwight Howard has his back problems just coming from Orlando to the Lakers. He was still able to produce. He says now, talking on podcasts and interviews and, you know, just things of that nature, that he was never the same. That's just a very tough injury to come back from. I've heard multiple athletes just talk about that. I just heard Cheryl Swoops the other day on Gilbert Arenas podcast talk about she had to come back from a back injury, and till this day her back is still in pain. So it's like, I think that's really going to hinder him. And then you got to look, when he was an all-star, he was on the Philadelphia 76ers, clear number 2 option, and they were winning. They don't just give someone an all-star being the 15th seed and they're averaging 15, 6, and 6. So I think he can still come back and produce. But to be an all-star, he would have to have a certain mentality. And then if we're talking about his mental, I don't know if he's mentally there. I just noticed in today's game, I feel like not all the players, but a lot of these players now, I feel like are playing for contracts.
You're right.
And to secure money, which if that's what you want to do, fine, secure your money. I get that. But I just don't think a lot of players are playing always to win a championship. I think it's more, what statistics can I get? You know, because if I reach a certain, you know, number, then I can get this X amount of dollars. I think a lot of money just plays into today's game. I heard Michael Porter Jr. talk a little bit about that, and people took what he said and kind of just twisted it around. But I kind of get the point that he was trying to talk about. So Ben Simmons, we just have to see. I think last season he started off, like Jalen said, the first 2 to 3 weeks, he was decent. And then he had the back problems again. So if he's healthy and never has a back problem again, he'll be a solid player and he could help any team because he's still 6'10", could dribble the ball, defensive player and could pass, good in transition, all those things. But me seeing him shoot jump shots in the offseason doesn't really mean anything, because even if you look at the rate of speed he's going at, that's not what the NBA is. He's not going to shoot shots like that. He never has. So it would be crazy to say he's back. Chris Brickley, of course, is working with him, and maybe they're having good workouts, and he's basing it strictly off those workouts. Then we can't say anything. But until we see him in game speed, because it's just not going to be the same. So if I was saying back to All-Star, no. But can he still be a solid player in the NBA? Yes.
Sure, I gotta agree with all your points there to you, but more so for me, I'm wondering, is it his contract? Is it contract
year.
Oh yeah, he's gonna play his heart out. One thing about Ben Simmons, he needs his money, and that's one thing I noticed about him. He'll play when it comes down to money, but for the love of the game, I just don't think it's there. But from what people are saying, to get back to All-Star, and you say with just the seeding and everything, and just come back, Ben Simmons has never been a player to he's never averaged more than 15. His highest average in points was his rookie season. So to say he's gonna get back to All-Star form, he'll be a decent player, like a decent starter for the Brooklyn Nets. Because with who else is really on that team besides him and Cam Thomas, that's really going to be dominant ball handlers. So for me, I just have to see it on the court. I haven't seen it in quite some time to where Ben Simmons was actually looking like a solid player, like a solid NBA player. Every time I look up, he's like having eight points, like 6 rebounds, like 8 assists, like casual numbers, like a Andre Karolinko, like a glue guy. That's why we looked at Ben Simmons as in his Brooklyn Nets tender. So when I look at it, I more so want to see if his game translates to what he's been working on with C. Brickley in the offseason, if it translates within the league, because we see it every year, time and time again, to where, Ben Simmons this year, Ben Simmons start taking more jump shots. He's going to look to be more aggressive. But it never translates, whether if it's his back or just his mental, it's just never there for him.
But him working on...
No, finish.
That video doesn't translate to anything. He's not playing with anybody, so he's working on a jump shot.
Yeah, and
when he's playing the game, he's gonna pass to. He's a pass first
guy. He's more a transition player.
That video doesn't mean anything. It means that he was working out with Chris Brickley.
And the thing is, I forgot whose podcast it was on. They was talking about it. They were saying how Ben Simmons is his best when he's playing 5v5. It's not best when he's working out on his game. Because he's not doing all those moves that he's working on. He'll get to the rim, he'll penetrate and kick out at the basket. But to say Ben Simmons is gonna take a sidestep 3, or he's taking a midi like that, we haven't seen it like that. Or I haven't. I watched a numerous amount of games where I see Ben Simmons been passive, especially on the Brooklyn. I've seen Kyrie Irving yell at Ben Simmons like, shoot the fucking ball. And yet he hasn't done it. So to sit here and say, this is the year where he's going to do it, I have to see it firsthand. But to me, I think he will. As crazy as it sounds, for a contract season, we all know once it's an NBA player's contract season, they play their heart out. They're going to play as much games as possible. They're going to try to reach every incentive that they can just so they could get the max dollars they could get for what they're worth from that season, and then maybe slack off the following seasons. So contract season, I think Ben Simmons could average a whopping 13 points, maybe 8 assists, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, just to make it look good. So for me, I think he can do that, but to get to...
And that's worth what?
To get him under the contract somewhere.
A contract of what?
Some type of money, man. He just needs some money. He needs the money, man.
You're making him sound like a crackhead. What do you mean he needs some type of...
What do you mean?
What is it?
What does Ben Simmons really... Do you think Ben Simmons loved the game like how he used to?
I don't know. I'm not Ben.
We don't know.
I just seen Russell Westbrook get $2.5 million. Like, what is Ben Simmons about to get?
Ben Simmons gonna get more than that because
I don't know what's about to. Why?
Bro, you gotta remember, people was talking about Ben Simmons like
Westbrook
he was the second coming of LeBron James.
Multiple triple doubles, MVP.
Yes, but remember what they was talking about with Ben Simmons.
$2.5 million in a player option.
But remember how they was talking about Ben Simmons? Yeah, you remember how they talk about Ben Simmons? This is the second coming of LeBron James. Wait, hold on. I'm reading the chat too because we got the chat that said if healthy, he's gonna average 20.
You can say he can average 20 will average 20 as being optimistic, but he's never done that.
He's never done.
But you can say that if you want to.
His highest average was 15 points for his rookie year. After that, it's been nothing but decline. So the most I'm giving him is 13 points, and that's if he's aggressive, if he's shot hunting, if he's trying to get to the basket. But if he's just passing out his shots when he's right at the rim, when he's literally right on the block, right in the dunking spot.
But I'm gonna be honest. I don't even even think that's going to happen because if you look at the dynamic of the team, it's a very young team. And I think Ben Simmons' role on that team is to facilitate to the younger guys and make sure, because again, being honest, the way the Brooklyn Nets are structured is more than likely Ben Simmons is not going to be back. And again, for him to be aggressive and everything, again, would to be to up his worth going into the offseason or look for a potential trade deadline. But his role on this team is particularly going to be to facilitate to the young guys. You had Nick Claxton just sign his contract extension, and then Cam Thomas is now due for an extension. I think his role is going to be to facilitate to the young guys and make them look better. So I hear what you're saying, but from what I'm expecting, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's more so going to be a distributor.
I
think it's actually acceptable for him to be passive because that's not his job on the team. His job is going to be to run plays and make excellent passes to the people on the team. Again, they still have Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith. I feel like they're gonna try to up their trade value as well. So Ben Simmons' job is gonna be, hey, get the ball to Dorian Finney-Smith and Cam Johnson so we can trade them.
Dorian Finney-Smith gonna do with the ball?
But I'm saying
he's a 3-and-D guy. He's not. But I'm saying for the team,
but for the team to like. Because I need Dorian Finney-Smith to shoot 5 threes because I want to trade him to another team. I need to up his trade value. So Ben Simmons, get that ball to these people so we can facilitate.
But besides Cam Thomas, where else are the points going to come from?
But that's not all.
No, I'm asking though. Like,
Cam Thomas is the only 20-point game, like the
yes,
only
and they lost Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, but I'm saying
they lost Mikal Bridges. So where else is scoring coming from? Dennis Schroeder.
I'm saying that, but Ben Simmons is going to find a way to facilitate. It's going to be evenly spread out. Too. I understand, but there's only one 20-point per game score. That's where everybody else fills in. That's what I'm saying. Ben Simmons is going to get Nick Claxton 10 points, Dorian Finney-Smith 10 points. Like it's shit like that. It's not going to be like bro. It's not going to be get this guy 20 points.
The league base averages, you got to average at least 100 and 3 points, 105 points. That's what.
No, right? But now we're changing the conversation. The Brooklyn Nets are going to be terrible. No. They don't have enough talent, period. If their plan is to trade him, I get your point, Jalen. He's going to have to pass it to them, but that's only going to do so much too. He's going to have to show he can just do a little something on offense if he's really planning on getting some type of big deal. I don't know. This is going to come down to what does Ben Simmons want? At the end of the day, because this Brooklyn Nets team, it's just a weird team for him to be on. There's just not a lot of talent. These other guys aren't going to make him look that good. You're talking Cam Johnson with 20. I get it, maybe because there's no one else, but that team is sorry, man.
Cam Johnson has been a 3-and-D role type of player too for most of his career too.
To put the ball
so
on the
we're
floor
talking about a bunch of players that have significant roles. The only true bucket getter, in my opinion, has been Cam Thomas and even Dennis Schroeder. But what else are we expecting out of everybody else? So it has to come down on Ben Simmons. He has to put up these points if he wants that contract. It's contract season. It's time to get paid.
It's just not going to happen.
So if it's not going to happen, then so what is the speculation of saying he's going to get back to all-star form? All-star form means he has to put up these points. You don't become an all-star without putting up at least 17, 18 in today's game and you're winning. But if you're losing and you're averaging
You're going off of Chris Brickley's statement, and what does that mean to anything?
That's where I got the notion from, because we say this every year. It's an every year thing to where, Ben Simmons he looks decent. Maybe he could do something for the Brooklyn Nets. Last year we was thinking about this team could be, if Ben Simmons could get back to Philadelphia, we was talking about him. This is just
good. I mean, at the end of the day, this is good for conversation. But all these videos and all that, I don't care about. I just seen a video Westbrook making mad threes in a row. I don't give a fuck about that, because he's not going to do that in the game, bro. You have to do it on the floor. Ben Simmons, Russell Westbrook, all these dudes are supposed to be having these comeback stories. It sounds all good. Just do it. Just do it. And if you can't do it, you can't. If you can, you can. And then let's just move on, bro. It's the same thing every year. If Ben Simmons is healthy, then hallelujah. If he's not, then listen, that Ben Simmons from Philly, you don't always just have those moments. The NBA is a bit of business. Look at Isaiah Thomas. He had his shot. He was on the Boston Celtics, average almost 30 a game. Then he got hurt. You have your moment, and sometimes that's just it. You had it. It's done.
So All right,
That's
just
it.
to finish things off, what is your stat line for Ben Simmons this season?
I don't know, and I really don't care. I hope he's healthy and can help the Brooklyn Nets. And that's just I don't have a stat line because I don't know if he's healthy. I don't know. People don't come back from back injuries just like that and just go back to normal. That's not what it is. I don't know.
All right, fair enough. Jalen, anything else you want to say?
No, all part of him.
All right.